Dr. Callahan, sir, it's 5:15. Dr. Callahan!
Stacy, Jesus.
It's 5:15.
Jesus, the Giants play the Marlins, aren't they?
Oh, well, some of the patients are gathered around the radio and a game is playing. As to which teams were contending, I couldn't say.
That's who it is, darling. The Suns versus Miami tonight. What's on my schedule anyhow? Me and Dick Williams stepped out for a 3-cocktail lunch and I promptly fell asleep upon my return. He likes to hit a little hard, straight shooter. Nice guy, though. What's on my schedule this afternoon, Stacy?
That's why I woke you, Doctor. Trevor Stills is waiting outside.
Trevor Stills? Stills?
He screams at me sometimes when he's leaving your sessions.
Trevor Stills?
Last week, on his way out, he screamed, "Burn in hell, Soviet whore."
Ah, yes, Stills.
I'll send him in then.
Stacy, you got that little radio of yours in your office.
Yes, sir.
And that ball game that's going on right now promises to be an eventful one.
Uh-huh.
And I know Trevor Stills is a fan of the sport as well.
Yes, sir.
And missing that ball game could prove very upsetting. To Mr. Stills, I mean. Counterproductive to his treatment is what I mean.
Oh. Well, would you like to borrow my radio and you and Mr. Stills?
No. That would prove counterproductive, I think. Unprofessional as well. But suppose you were to listen to the game yourself in your office. And suppose every inning or so, you contact me on the intercom and let us know the score. And any event recently transpired, either remarkable or simply amusing. Something to keep you busy while you paint your nails.
Dr. Callahan, I have other work.
Stacy, it's 5:18. You better send him in. And don't forget, pay close attention once every inning.
Yes, Doctor.
And you won't be able to focus on the ball game with your head buried in that cosmopolitan magazine, Stacy. I'm gonna say.
Dr. Callahan, we've gotten ourselves into quite a pickle. There's a ball game on here now, and I'm not in the mind to miss it. But now suppose...
Now, hold on there, Trevor. I've instructed my secretary to keep us updated on the ball game.
Uh-huh. So I suppose rescheduling our session would be out of the question.
You suppose right.
Okay, then. Fair enough. I'd rather enjoy the ball game here with you than with those nuthouse Neds in the lobby. Now, first off is this Mark Dearly. He's going to cause some problems without a doubt.
No, Trevor. We can't discuss baseball. That would prove unproductive and unprofessional.
Is that a new tie, Doctor?
It's an old one I dug from the closet.
I can't say I like it.
That's fine, Trevor. I rather like it. We ought to start.
Well, all right. What should we discuss?
Your father first.
My father?
Yes. I'd like to lay down now, if you'd like. I have that music you enjoy so much cued on the phonograph. If you're feeling nervous, I need only drop the needle.
I'm feeling quite calm at the moment, Doctor.
Glad to hear it, Trevor. We ought to begin now. Tell me about your father.
He's solid. Retired on full pension from the mill. 27 years. Taught me all the knots I know. Alpine butterfly, constrictor, bowline, Spanish bowline, the water knot.
What kind of father was he?
Best of the best. Never took a switch to us we didn't deserve. Could count on one hand the number of times he raised his voice.
Why'd you attack your father, Trevor?
I didn't.
You didn't.
That's right.
I think we both know that isn't true. It says here while your father was tending to his azaleas on a Tuesday afternoon, you attacked him with a garden trowel, leaving deep lacerations from the left ear along the jawline to the chin. You had to be subdued by your Uncle Seymour and Brother Thomas. Both witnesses to the attack later reported that you appeared to be attempting to move your father's face with the trowel.
I attacked someone with a hand trowel, but that man was not my father.
Who was he?
Dr. Callahan, I'd like to give you your second inning update.
Go ahead, Stacy.
Well, Tim Lincecum went up to the mound thingy and pitched underhand like a girl in gym class. Reyes hit it out of the park. Then, reportedly, Lincecum sat down on the mound and called out to his teammates, "If someone gets killed, I'll know it's real." Marlin's up 1-0.
Fine then, Stacy. Get back to your manicure. Your father. You said that your father wasn't the person who attacked.
That's right.
Then who was he?
Nikolai Wexler.
Who is Nikolai Wexler?
Nikolai Wexler is the actor who plays my father.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Nikolai Wexler is an SRV sleeper agent living in the United States who has assumed the identity of my father. I was attempting to remove the prosthetic which disguises his face, and I was stopped by his two fellow agents. They were both named Alexander.
Alexander. These are the actors that play your uncle and brother?
That's correct.
And why would it be that Russian informants are posing as members of your family?
To gather information, of course.
What information?
Dr. Callahan!
What is it, Stacy? Can't be the third inning yet.
I thought you'd like to know. Brian Wilson is dead.
What?
That's right. The stadium went dark. That is to say, the lights went out. And when they finally got him turned back on, well, Brian Wilson was found dead in the dugout with a tomahawk stuck in his back.
A tomahawk?
They're saying it's a curse. An old Indian curse, like the ghost of some Indian came, shut the lights off, and stuck a tomahawk in Mr. Wilson's back.
Stacy, why?
Injustices and stuff.
Injustices? Stacy, kindly bring that radio of yours into my office, please.
Yes, Doctor.
That's very alarming, Doctor.
Be calm now, Trevor. I'm sure it's Stacy just having a little bit of fun with us.
That poor Mr. Wilson's family.
You need to listen to your music now?
And suppose the ghost of that old engine caused it to the rain and they cancel the game.
Now go easy, Trevor. Relax. We're going to talk about your wife. Thank you, Stacy. I'm going to show you that this monkey business is just that.
Amid the untimely death of Brian Wilson, Major League Baseball security has now turned the fire hose onto the unruly mob. We're now watching Sergio Romo pitch fastballs in self-defense towards the advancing crowd of bloodthirsty baseball fans.
Well, that's the best pitcher we've seen from him today. That's for sure.
Ain't that the truth? Do you think they're going to destroy the stadium?
Oh, without a doubt. It's like the Lord said regarding the temple, not one stone here will be left upon another. Now, this is just coming in a quick update from Giants pitcher Tim Lincecum, who still lies motionless on the pitcher's mound, overcome by a bout of melancholia. Lincecum reportedly whispered, and I'm quoting here, "Our reality is merely the lucid dream of a tightrope walker who slipped from the wire. Everything you've ever loved is hurtling towards the pavement below, and we haven't much time left." End quote.
Oh, well, gee, no one likes to hear that. I'm going to go ahead and call it. This is just bad baseball.
Oh, you can say that again. Marlins are up 5-0 and the death rate is climbing by the minute. I would estimate by the 5th inning the terrified faces of the survivors look upon the blood-soaked field littered with bodies and wonder what became of this once great sport. This update brought to you by Dentine Ice. Practice safe breath.
5-0. Do you think the Giants could turn it around, Doctor?
No, Trevor, I don't know. Never mind. Let's focus on your wife.
My wife. My angel. How I miss her so.
Where's she gone, Trevor?
A prisoner compound in Russia on the eastern shoreline of the Sakhalin Island.
Trevor?
And they've replaced her with the most atrocious woman! Dr. Callahan, this woman bears uncanny resemblance to my Melissa. I'll grant you that. And her voice is a spot-on match. Whoever designed her facial prosthetic and coached her voice through the appropriate timbre and pronunciation did a fine job. Her gesticulations, too. But it's their character where they've made their fatal flaw. This woman, she's not my Melissa.
How's that, Trevor?
The thing she says! I'm leaving you. I'm in love with another man. Whoever has written her lines doesn't know my Melissa at all. And the cigarettes. Melissa smoked maybe 1 per day after supper. This woman now smokes 15 to a pack in a day's time! I count.
Could it be that your wife has simply changed? Maybe she's not the same person you married anymore, and that's okay.
Then explain her Russian! She speaks fluent Russian. I can hear her when she's showering. That's when she makes her transmissions back to her superiors when she's in the shower. I can hear her speaking Russian. She's telling them things about me. I speak Russian fluently, you know.
You mentioned that in our previous session.
Yes, quite fluent.
I think we ought to listen to your music now, Trevor.
I'm quite calm, Doctor.
All the same, we might have to discuss something a little jarring.
Nothing shakes me anymore, Dr. Callahan. Not after the things I've seen. Should we check the score again?
No. I think we're through with that monkey business on the radio for now.
Very well.
Do you see what I have there, Trevor?
A book, Doctor.
It's a play, actually. The Cherry Orchard by Anton Chekhov, written in the original Russian text. I have my nephew who's studying linguistics at UC Davis. He let me borrow it.
How's he faring?
Very well, thank you. He likes it. I was wondering, Trevor, if you could just translate the first few lines. Just a scene setup.
There's something more pressing at the moment than translating Chekhov, Doctor!
What's that, Trevor?
I'm wondering what you're doing with the Russian play.
Trevor, I just explained that. I have a nephew.
Oh yes, your supposed nephew! Trevor, on second thought, Doctor, I do feel a little shook. I think I'd like to hear my music now.
Okay.
Valiant effort, Nikolai. 'Twas your necktie that gave you away. Great Dr. Callahan would never wear something so hideous.
Marlin's up by 6 and the stadium is burning to the ground as we speak.
What's more is it seems what we're seeing here is only a microcosm of the chaos behind our walls. Our New York affiliates tell us the city's in darkness and its 8 million people are suddenly speaking 8 million uninvented languages.
Now that's a real mess.
Boy, you can say that again. It's the land of deepest night where even the light is like darkness.
Now, folks, our booth is more or less engulfed in flames.
You can say that again. The smoke is pouring in under the door. I give it a solid 3 minutes before we pass out and burn to death. Now, folks, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil.
That was one damn fine ball game.
For the Lord is with me.
Hope to see you next time.
Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
I've been wanting to share a dream with you, but I suppose I've been embarrassed. I wrote my wife a note and I sealed it in a wine bottle and cast it out into the ocean. And since that day I've had this dream. Not every night, but most nights. When I lay my head down, I see a great whale would find my wine bottle floating, and that great whale would scoop it up in its mouth and hold it safe in its bay leaf. And that whale travels north. She swims north for months and holds my wine bottle a stowaway. She's careful not to drop it as she eats a breakfast at 10,000 kelp. She reaches the Falkland Island and bids farewell her last traveler. She spits it out. And there the bottle floats to the surface and a mighty bird, a seagull, picks it up in her talons and carries it. She flies near the compound where my Melissa is held. The cherry trees are still in bloom, but there's frost in the garden. The cruelty of a Russian winter nears. The great seagull carries my bottle and drops it into the exercise yard of the compound where my Melissa enjoys her allotted outdoor time for the day. she'll find the bottle and fish out the note and read it aloud. And surely I am with you always, even unto the end of the age. This is my dream, Doctor. I haven't spoken it aloud until now, and I try not to dwell on it in my waking hours. I am not a man who indulges himself in fantasy.
This transmission is to inform all listeners, military and civilian alike, that the entire East Coast has gone black, and the power out is rapidly moving west. Moments ago, we lost the Dakotas, Kansas, and Nebraska. This is just coming in from our affiliates in Tulsa that New Mexico is in darkness. Wyoming, Montana. We've got word from Phoenix, Arizona is in darkness. Utah, Nevada,